Good evening, traders. Adam here from Bold Logic, going over our market analysis this Sunday evening, getting you all ready for the market. Hopefully, everybody had a good weekend, nice relaxing weekend. I know I did. Finally caught up on some sleep, which is always nice. Last week, we did see some consolidation in the markets. As you can see, the markets pretty much ran a nice 18-point zone right here. Nice consolidation, pretty much went straight across for the entire week. Not much happened. We had one dip on Thursday, which got bought up, and then one spike on Friday, which got sold. Basically, we're just working off these overbought conditions of this big run up that we had. We're no longer overbought in the short term. So that's always good to see. Now we are ready to move higher. The bulls need to start putting in some gains here and really start putting in some nice green candles to really start to get this leg up. We don't want to roll over on this market. So we definitely need to start putting in a move here. We can't really wait too long, otherwise the selling will start to creep in and we could find ourselves a lot lower. Speaking of pullbacks, again, as we've said before, we're waiting on that 1440, the 1430, and the 1420 level. Any test of those three levels will be bullish in our opinion. We'll also want to see a test of the 20-day moving average, which will also be another bullish move. These are all great pullbacks to load up on longs for a good risk-reward situation. Any break below these levels, we're going to start getting a little bit more bearish and a little bit more defensive in our moves and in our picks. But until we test these levels and see if we can bounce or break through, we're definitely remaining bullish because we do believe there is a bullish undertone in this market. So far, everything has been very bullish. Bears have not crept in when they were given the chance here on Thursday and any other time in the last couple of months. So we definitely want to see a nice bull run come here. Again, we don't want to wait too long. Looking at the NASDAQ, we saw an actual green day on Friday, probably due to the part of Apple releasing their iPhone and being up on the day, even if it was slight. Again, holding these highs here at that 3,200 level. So we want to see that level get broken out. Looking at the Russell, nice bounce off of that support. That's what we want to see in the S&P. If we do touch those support lines, a nice come down and a nice bounce. That's very bullish sign that we'll have to see if we can continue that bounce with a nice continuation run going into Monday, and hopefully another green day that puts it up. Hopefully it just doesn't come into a gap fill. This is a very bullish sign. This is what they call an island reversal, where you gap down and then you gap back up the same way, and you pretty much gap the same kind of gap that you had originally. This is what they call an island reversal. It's a reversal sign. So if it was coming down, it's now going to reverse higher and go up. We'll see if that remains true in the market. I don't know. Only time will actually tell. Something we've been hitting on is the VIX being at a low level and should remain at a low level at least until the non-farm payroll comes out in October. But I would expect it to be lower pretty much for the rest of the year, just because there's just nothing on the horizon right now. Obviously, anything that comes as a surprise is going to change that, but right now on the horizon, it looks like we're going to remain in a low volatility market, somewhere in between the 13s and I'm saying the 17s, but it could cap in into the 16s. Looking at the Dow transports getting hit on pretty bad here. We broke below that lower trend line, that triangle that we've been plotting and watching. As you can see, we went from completely overbought to completely oversold. Now we're below that trend line. The stocks that make up the Dow transports are getting hit on the head. Things like FedEx is taking a big hit here. Also in that same sector, UPS, another big hit. CSX, looking at the railroads, again, very red. NSC, Norfolk, again, the railroads getting hit, and CNY, some whatever it was, I don't remember what I had written down, but it was a trucking company that was getting hit pretty hard. So this is what's bringing the Dow transports down. This is obviously a concern if you're some mind that the Dow transports and the Dow run together. So we don't want to see the Dow following the Dow transports and going red for the year. Definitely something to be concerned about if you are trading. Bonds are looking a little bit better. they did pop over that 200-day moving average after breaking down. We'll have to see if it's actually going to hold that 200-day moving average. Again, something else that we just want to watch on. Technology, again, looking good here, consolidating sideways. It looks like it could roll over and pull back a little bit. A healthy pullback to that 20-day moving average for a bounce higher will be a very bullish move. Financials looking a little rough here. We are seeing some pullback. Again, though, it was getting overextended, as you can see, with that nice doji candle up here in the 16s. So a pullback to that 20-day moving average where we can regroup and bounce, again, will be a strong move. And just looking at the biotechs, again, they are still on fire. So if you are looking for a sector to play, biotechs have been a good one to go to. Going through some of our news, we actually have a bunch of news coming up this week. You know, we got the Dallas Fed survey and the Case-Shiller consumer confidence on Tuesday, new homes on Wednesday, GDP, along with the jobless numbers on Thursday, and you got the personal income numbers and Chicago PMI. So it's got a very busy week for news. So make sure you're on top of that to make sure you know exactly what's coming out the day after or before you load up on a bunch of positions that day. Make sure you have a good idea of what's going to come up in the markets. You don't want to leverage yourself to one side and then have some big news come out and just completely wipe out your positions in your portfolio. That's never a good sign. All right, everyone, that's what we have for you today. Again, the market is looking pretty strong here, even if it did go through a week of consolidation that was very bullish. We'll have to see if the bulls can put something together and really start to push this market higher. They don't want to wait too long, otherwise selling is going to creep in. I am starting to load up on some long positions, get some testers out there, some feelers, just in case we do break higher. I'll be ready to go. All right, everyone, have a good night.